me catch my breath. Woo! Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not your peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, your enemies make a tumult, and they who hate you have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people, and consulted against your hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, that they are confederate against you. This is what I continue to tell you about the Muslim Brotherhood. They don't just come together as different dictators and have their own thing going on and want money or whatever, like they have in the past. Many of them flared up against Israel because they would get paid $30 billion or however many millions of dollars from the United States to keep peace. That's what McBourt did for 30 years. They paid him off. That's why we're still giving Egypt money right now. But we don't need to be giving them money because we're not paying them off anymore. We paid them off to keep peace in the Middle East. Remember I told you America was used? That he who now lets will let until he be taken out of the way? Well, we're not able to keep peace in the Middle East by our money or military anymore. The Muslim Brotherhood is a radical bunch, which actually they're a faithful bunch to the Quran. I'm tired of saying radical. They're not radical. They're faithful. They believe what the Quran says when it says kill the infidels, kill the Christians and Jews wherever you find them. Cut their heads off, pour hot coals down their neck. That's what Muhammad told them to do in the Quran. So they're faithful to their word. If we had Christians faithful to the Bible, like they're faithful to the Quran, my goodness, what a church we'd be. But they're not radical. The ones that don't do this are apathetic and complacent. Kind of like many are in the Christian church. They don't really want to follow the Bible. They're just apathetic about it. I know it says not to do this, not to do that. It says to forgive. God will understand. He's going to save me anyway. They're apathetic. But when you're faithful to say, I need to do this, Lord, help me. And you go to the altar and you ask for help, you're faithful to the Word. You're not a radical, are you? You're just faithful. You see what I'm saying? They're literally faithful to the Quran, and they're trying to set this thing up in one accord. They'll come together in one consent, confederate against Israel. They've already lifted up the heads, and they're about to get ready to attack. They're raising up leaders all around those nations, all around Israel. I can show you. I said I brought pictures. Men are visual. Sometimes words put us to sleep. It really does. I remember sitting in the pews, man, and I'd get sleepy, because we got to see something. Well, what you want to see right here, here's the players involved in Psalms 83. I'm going to pass this around. These are the players, the different nations involved in Psalms 83. I'm going to read them in a minute. I might butcher their names, but I'm going to read them. But that's the players involved. I'll pass this around. And here is what it was called the Arab Spring 18 months ago. I got this right. All around Israel. And the black areas are the areas that have been overthrown by the protesters in one, like Egypt. Now they got a Muslim Brotherhood leader. Libya, boom, now they got one. Yemen, boom, they were overthrown. The red are those now in civil war that haven't been overthrown yet. That's kind of kept this Psalms 83 from coming to pass, because it wasn't like Syria. They hadn't been able to get Syria out of there yet. I'm just letting you know what's happening right now. Then you got the light blue. Those are the ones that surrendered to the protesters. They just gave in. They made a deal, like Jordan. Yeah, Jordan's over there. You got Amman and different ones like that. Yellow, they just did minor protests. But you see, notice the yellow are not completely close, surrounded by this. I mean, surrounded to Israel, or adjacent to Israel. But all those adjacent to Israel, as Psalms 83 said, are now coming together in this, and they will do. I'm sorry. That's a thing. Flip it over. This lets you know, and while you're passing that around, I'll read this. It says in verse 6, it tells us who's involved. The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab. Now, who's the Ishmaelites? Everybody knows that one. In Genesis 25, the second son of Ishmael is Kedar. The flocks of Kedar are those of Islam. That's where Muhammad's bloodline runs to Kedar. So we know who the Ishmaelites are. And Moab, the Hagarenes, and Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot, Shelah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, and as Sisera, as Jabin, in the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Now, let me tell you who some of these people are. I'll go through it. It says, Edom, the Ishmaelites, Moab, the Hagarites, and Ammon all refer to the present-day Jordan. Now, Jordan is the only one so far that they sold out, but they haven't committed as far as, I don't think they've burned any embassies down or tried to burn the embassies down or attack them or burn flags yet. Not that I know of. I think there's small protests in there right now. But Gebal, Tyre, refer to the present-day Lebanon, which Hezbollah runs. Then Assyria, quite naturally Syria, which they haven't been able to get their Muslim Brotherhood leader in yet. That's what's holding us back. The Philistines is present-day Gaza, which Hamas rules. And all these people are aggressive against Israel. And Amalek is the present-day Egypt, who now, that used to be friendly, used to be a tourist attraction, now they're literally crucifying people on stakes on the road in Egypt, like they did back in Jerusalem, back in Jesus' day. Literally. Today, in 2012, that's where Egypt is now. So when you see these events and you can't make common sense out of them, then why would people do this? You know something spiritual is going on. And as I pray the Lord show me to show you what spiritually is happening. Does it make sense now? If you see that page, you'll see what I'm talking about. The players are all there. The Arab Spring is not no Arab Spring. It's that Confederate that's coming against, that's fixing to set up the skirmish that takes place that's going to make rise for who? Antichrist. For the Antichrist to make a what? A 7-year peace treaty. We're that close. Remember, the generation of 1948. Man, they getting on up there, y'all. Those who've seen World War II. Those who've seen World War II now, that's a pretty good ways ago. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I wasn't going to say old, because, I mean, God gives us 70, 80 years. I think it's in Psalm 90, what Moses said, and then 120 in Genesis, so somewhere between 80 and 120 years. But still, that generation is going to be alive. That lets you know that's pretty close. That's why He's preparing us now to stand and not be conformed to that thing that is fixed to be set up. That one world religion, the peace treaty and all this other stuff, the one world government you find in Revelation 17 and 18, we were talking about in Sunday school a while ago. All these things that are fixing to take place and deceive mankind and use the emotions of our own emotions to deceive us into following and flowing into this one world thing. Because we'll think, oh, it's so sweet. No more killing. Peace. How can you not be for peace? I mean, Jason, how can you not be for peace, man?